This is High Functioning with Barry Brown, and this is my boy Aaron Axelrod.
What's up?
A dope street artist or contemporary modern artist.
There you go.
That I grew up watching through the years, and his art has been inspiring, and he's also out of his mind. So to catch him a little bit on the ground is a pleasure that I've been trying to capture for a while. So we're just going to talk about many things down the wormhole because there's a lot of pieces that I've seen you come out with recently from the ectoplasm world that, you know, it's been a big interest to me on how you got to that, you know, place and that vision. I don't know how to approach art in general. You know, when I see a piece, I always typically wonder, how did that artist get like kind of like that vision to start painting that? Is it in a dream? Is it in, you know, just something he got inspired off on the street? So I think I want to start off like, you know, we're both from the Valley.
What's up, Sherman Oaks?
Right? Is that
you're Burbank though, right?
I'm Burbank, Sherman Oaks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're just
Sherman Oaks.
You just grew up in Sherman Oaks. And then high school, junior high, everything there.
Beverly Hills.
Oh, you went to Beverly?
Yeah, Beverly for 3 years. Got kicked out for drawing on tables. Then I went to Grant.
Okay, that's
North Hollywood.
And that's when you met our mutual friend.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you were just doing art all throughout high school, junior high?
Art all throughout high school. It's funny. I got kicked out for drawing on the walls and drawing on the desks. And probably a couple of years ago, they asked me to come back and talk to the kids about how to be an artist and stuff.
Really?
And it's really funny.
Was it the same principal and teachers then?
Different people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you doing a lot of painting then, or
painting, sculpture, performance art, installation art, do a lot of projection mapping. I get bored a lot.
Yeah, I could tell.
And so if I just did the same thing all the time, I think I'd want to kill myself. I think I wouldn't want to be an artist.
Yeah. One of the biggest installations obviously that I saw was at the building on Cahuenga. And
that was a dope one.
That was I think for that time period that like me growing up, like living in Hollywood and like being a transplant from the Valley over to the city, that was like, I know like that full, and that shit was the sickest thing I've seen. Actually, probably the sickest installation I saw and still seen in LA.
That's
I mean,
thanks, bro.
I'm not I don't go out and see everyone's crazy installations, but that installation itself, and it kept morphing too. But like there was a fucking giant, I don't know if anyone's seen his piece, and you should go and look up Aaron Axelrod and look up his ski building piece. It was a giant television in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I made the building and look like a TV. But what was cool about that, I got to incorporate every type of art there. So I did a lot of painting on there, sculpture, did projection mapping, wheat pasting. I carved the big analog TV knobs out of foam.
No, it was the craziest thing. And then the building across the street, you got like special permission to
right? We rented out an apartment right across the street, right across from Cahuenga, just so we can put a projector in there.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was tight.
But then you had all of the characters too. There was like these characters that you built that were like human size mannequins, and they were dressed up as hoodlums, which is they are just like people, us, right?
Me and you,
and then hanging from the side of the building. It was the illest installation. I'm telling you right now, even to this day, it was one of the illest installations probably the illest installation I've ever seen.
That's a good one.
And just driving down the street, it's hard to explain. It was like shocking.
There was car accidents.
Really?
That's how you know it was cool.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be up just for a month, and then
it was up for like a year.
Yeah, we're like, you know what? Let's just run it until people tell us to take it down. No one did.
Yeah.
Kept it up. Changed the bulb from the projectors like 3 different times.
Wow.
$1,500 each time, every bulb.
Wow. How long did it take you to install that whole piece?
24 hours. All to code.
Wow. Oh, so you had to get code?
The conception of it took a couple weeks, but the execution of it, I had a crew. 24 hours.
And then and then it morphed into other pieces. After that, then you did like a whole...
Like 3 or 4 different art installations, yeah.
Yeah, that whole building was just like your giant canvas.
My canvas, yeah.
And it was a big building. I mean, that was
big.
I don't know. It's at least a 15,000 square foot building. Would you say?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's big.
I'd say.
I'm not good at math. I could paint.
Yeah, I'd say 20,000 square feet. And then that whole installation kind of came to an end. And then you were doing, we were talking about a bunch of other crazy installations you were trying to do.
Barnsdall Art Park, the Frank Lloyd Wright Hollyhock House.
That was, so I was sick during that time. So I was kind of like, battling my demons. But I remember looking at that whole thing, and you took over literally the Frank Lloyd Wright Museum in Hollywood and made it not just the building now, like you took over the whole space and it became a canvas.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a really crazy experience.
Yeah. That was insane. I mean, how much does it cost to put on, from
as much as you have.
Yeah. But when I look at those pieces, those are very expensive endeavors.
Yeah, I mean, just one of those pieces in there, like the collab I did with Swarovski Crystals, and that came to be because I do a lot of paintings of scrambled television signals, just because I'm a '90s baby, and that whole aesthetic I'd always thought was interesting. But they came in as a sponsor, and they were like, "Well, what can you do with the crystals?" So it had a couple of different ideas. One of the ideas that we came onto was using every single crystal and have it correlate to a television pixel. And so I used like 800,000 individual colored crystals, huge piece that it looked like a bad reception television,
I've seen
but all made with just crystals. It was fucking beautiful. Yeah. But that's like, I mean, dude, those are very, very, very expensive pieces. Yeah.
The piece, yeah, I mean, so when I first came on this like scene and saw your pieces, it was scrambled, but it was also the We Are the People scramblings.
Old school.
Yeah. And I remember the homie Richie was like, "Yo, this is my boy right here. I might do some shirts with him at some point or some merch. Check him out, right?" And so when someone tells you like, "Oh, I'm gonna do some merch with the homie," I was like, "Oh, cool, they're gonna do a little." And then it was like he pulled it up, and I was like, "Yo, this dude is insane. Like, what the fuck? That's a painting?"
Dude, I rewrote the entire Constitution, the entire Declaration of Independence, word for word with oil paint. And it was mixed with a bunch of oil, and then I just let it just deteriorate, and it was like dripping down. It was obviously
it's the illest to this day that I've seen, because like people like to use the Constitution for different kind of ways.
I did it a long time ago too. That was like 10 years ago.
It was the illest I've seen to this day. Like what you felt about it, and then it went into the scrambling. So that piece though, those pieces in general, those are big pieces. They're not
huge. Yeah.
How big would you say? Like 5 feet?
The Constitution one is probably 4 feet by 15 feet.
Yeah, it's a massive piece.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
And the Declaration's probably 4 feet by 3 feet. Nice size, not like massive, but it's a nice size piece.
And it's all oil.
All oil paint, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. And then it went in. It like went down even to now TV scrambling. And if anyone's ever seen his pieces again, you need to look them up. The Obama piece was one of my favorites out of
the one for the inauguration, though.
I think it was the inauguration one.
Yeah.
Because like we were going through a lot of shit then too. It was like all this like turmoil, and you took literally like iconic times that like we remember in like just glancing at TV or just
Oh, you mean you're talking about the big pastel one of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that one was cool. Yeah.
I don't know which mediums. Which
that was pastel.
Yeah, the pastel is insane. It's the one with the bluish colors.
Yeah.
That
was a tough.
It's the sickest piece I've ever seen.
That's big. That was 6 feet by 9 feet.
Yeah,
all pastel.
It's insane, and it's the picture, and then it's scrambled. It's insane, and again, I haven't seen it in person, but I can tell you it's very emotional if you're looking at through a screen. So imagine being in front of that thing, the feeling that you get from that medium. And then that was a really amazing. Those pieces I fell in love with immediately. And then it was like scrambled porn, because when you're young, this is how we watch TV, and so like
Channel 99, Channel 98,
Channel 98, and then the box too,
the black box.
Yeah. So, those were amazing pieces. And then just kind of like following you down when we went, we talked about the Art Basel installations. You were, trying to do these giant, remember those? They were like the bombs.
Yeah. Big bombs and stuff. But it's interesting because when I was first starting out, the what I thought was what you had to do to become a really good artist was to make things look realistic. And I got to be able to do that at a very young age. And after a while, I got really bored doing it, and it wasn't fun to do it. Like, I could do it, and it looked really cool, like the end results, but I wasn't having fun. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is not for me anymore. It's just boring. It's just, I hate it. So then I just was like, I was trying to find myself again, and I was trying to find something where I would have fun doing. And I was like, oh, you know what? When I was a kid, I was so happy just making something without really even caring what it looked like at the end or selling it or anything. And so that's how I came to do these melting rainbow stuff and the mermaid vomit and the ectoplasms, because it's all about the process. You know, that's really the most important thing. And how do I make something really cool, but just have it be based on the process and not the end result? And that's where all those things spawn from.
I think when I watch you, I 100% feel that way. It looks like you're extremely involved. You know, it's like you take on and invoke this like possession, right? And you really do have an experience making it.
Once I put on the bunny ears,
it's over. It's a whole different person.
It's over.
Yeah. And then, you know, if the live art that you do, the melting rainbows, explain to me, like, where did that concept come from in general? Because if anyone hasn't seen them, you get like these giant domes.
Like planetariums.
I love the planetarium, by the way. I used to connect with my mom through the planetarium.
Well,
yeah, we used to go together.
Which one?
I think it was the Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, the Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I think when I was young, very very young.
Griffith then.
Yeah, it was the Griffith Park, the one up top. I think they did the
laser show.
Yeah, the laser show was a beautiful thing because we didn't spend a lot of time. You know, when you're in the valley, it's like every household's different. And my mom was a journalist; she was always gone. So our connection was there in Disneyland. You know, and then
that's tight.
Then she's back shooting news. But you know, you brought that to life, which was a giant dome. You have the mapping on the dome. You're in the middle with like a dome and crazy fucking paint, and you're out of your fucking mind. And I'm pretty sure you're on something, but maybe not. And then, you know, and then you have just amazing colors that are like transforming live with you, right?
Yeah. So it all came to be that I was really, really into doing like psychedelia and psychedelics and stuff, and the colors and feelings that you get while you take this, listen to certain types of music. I just wanted to kind of execute that and try to replicate that in a way without doing those things.
Right.
And to kind of act as kind of like a visual shaman where I can like kind of get everyone's energy and manipulate it and have everyone be on the same level and mindset. And that's where the bunny ears then came into play. I'm a big Disney fan, and the whole idea was Alice in Wonderland, Alice would follow the bunny to an adventure. And so the idea would be like everyone follow me, the bunny, to an adventure.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. And so whatever I invented this thing called the rainbow melter, and it's exactly to scale as a planetarium. And whatever I do on this mini dome, like paint on it, smash my face on it, eat paint, all this stuff, gets live fed onto the planetarium dome. And so people it just looks like a god is just like painting all over them.
Right.
And do it to music, and it's just a really fun time. You know, as an artist, a studio artist, I'm just making art secluded by myself. That's cool, but there's another part of me that I want like a social experience, you know, to be like in front of people, and
you feed off their energy too.
Feed off their energy, exactly. You can't do that as an artist making these paintings.
They feed off your energy.
Exactly. So that's kind of my outlet.
Right.
Is that.
And the music, you curate everything. I
curate the music. The music's very, very important. So things that have touched me that when I listen to, I just feel really happy. I try to include that, incorporate that. I have my friend who's a really good harp player. She like gets down on the harp. It's a kind of an ode to Disney, old school Disney movies and stuff where they use a lot of harp. And you know, when I would make paintings too in melting rainbows, when you make it and the paint is wet right before it dries, before it's finished, it looks to be, that's when paintings and art are their most alive, before they dry. And so I wanted to kind of think of something to have an art piece that's always wet, that's always in that wet state before it's dried. Hence that you come into the mermaid vomit stuff. where
Right.
it only looks like that very split second of time, but I wanted to capture that moment of its most beautifulness, if that's a word, and that's the piece.
And you did.
And I did, yeah.
Yeah. The domes, again, from a glance, were extremely heartfelt. And I think that sitting in a room like that, just in general, and experiencing it with someone guiding you is a very emotional thing. The part where you're saying on the art side, I've kind of seen that just hanging out with graffiti artists right before it dries, that wetness is when I'm like, wow, it looks like super HD and super beautiful. When I came into your studio, these paintings that you have, the ectoplasms, they literally look like you just got done painting them.
That's
like,
the whole point.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's impossible to have that look.
Yeah.
It's
beautiful.
but it's the coolest, most beautiful thing. It's life.
Yeah.
It's
alive.
like,
Yeah.
but then it dies. It's kind of
Right.
it's like everything else. So I
Right.
wanted to
Capture that moment.
capture that little moment in time.
And there's different variations of the ectoplasms. There's obviously our throwback to our childhood, which is obviously The Simpsons. You did your
Simpsons,
variations.
Disney. Yeah, exactly.
And you did a Disney collab, like where you took the characters and made them come to life through your point of view. And then the other one is just the mermaid vomit, which is
Like more abstracted, kind of just like trippy looking stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
You used to use. I remember when you did the Coachella
Bands?
thing. Yeah, you had these insane pieces that were like 3D as well.
I did for Radiohead, Nine Inch Nails.
You had like just the body of work in the short amount of time we've been on this earth. Like
I wish I've done more.
I'm 1%. You're at fucking 2,000,000% in my point of view.
Well, I don't know about that,
well,
but
you have a lot more you're gonna come out with, and I'm sure they're all stuck in your mental den right now, and you're whittling away keys to open different doors and open them up so we can explore with you. But the reality is that the pieces that I've seen, again, I think it's harder for you to like look back on them, but I'm sure you see like your stacks of like all the fucking
There's a
crazy
lot.
shit you built. Those pieces too, like these 3D pieces coming out of the fucking wall were insane. Like you literally had like there was all like a bunch of just insane pieces.
which ones do you remember?
Well, I remember the Nine Inch Nails ones.
Yeah.
I remember the Radiohead one. There was
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. There was
MF Doom.
MF Doom. There was the Ghostface. Remember you did Ghostface Killer
with the fish scale stuff.
Yeah, it was so sick.
That was a tight piece.
Yeah, where are those? What happens to those
Ghostface
pieces?
has that one.
Okay. Yeah, all those pieces were
Black
just
Star. Damn, Madonna.
yeah. You just had again your body of work's
The
always
Madonna one was cool. Damn, I just remembered that one again. I painted her in a bubble bath, and I had the bubbles come out of the canvas.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've noticed and I've loved about your art is it's very involving. Typically I see a piece like a Murakami or something like that. It's like a cool lithograph with his point of view. Yours, when I walk by them, they involve you typically, especially with like your pieces that where the character splatting. It's like a character's fucking
That sculpture.
Yeah, your sculptures
Splat.
are insane. Yeah. They're insane. Like a fucking human. Like I look at it like when I used to do 3D renders of characters, and it's like grayscale. And that's like you have this like human-sized character throwing a fucking bucket of paint against the wall, and the paint is a sculpture. It's all attached. It's insane. And then you have this little miniature that I play with when I come over. And you're like, don't play with that. You might break it. It might break.
Damn, I just broke it last
No way.
night.
Really?
Fuck, dude, I need to put
That piece, that little.
I mean, it was like I'm trying to do like multiples of it, so that was my like test. But yeah, I broke it.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick
So I was
piece.
fucking touching it too much.
Yeah. But those pieces were insane. And all the sculptures. What's like the next like thing you're about to do? Because you're always about to do something.
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing a takeover of some spot in downtown, which will in the next couple weeks I could say exactly where. I'll be doing a lot of melting rainbow stuff, a lot of installations revolving around melting rainbows, and then a lot of like inflatable sculpture kind of things, and yeah, just playing around, see what happens.
Yeah. Every time I saw you online, you were always somewhere. So it's like, oh, now I'm doing something at Google, or like you always were like actively somewhere online, and it's like cool to live through you, right?
Yeah, I'm about to be going to Thailand pretty soon to do a show there.
Live.
And I was just in Iceland last year, and I'm gonna be going back for a residency there pretty soon. But I went to Japan recently for an entire month, and that was amazing. I want to do something there. Nothing's figured out yet, but that was the most amazing culture I've ever seen in my life.
Japan.
It was so tight.
Those are my people.
Have you been there?
Haven't been there, but I am Japanese.
Really?
Yeah, I'm half Japanese.
Half what else?
Mexican and white.
How can you be half of three things?
Well, I'm half. My dad's full Japanese.
So you're half Japanese.
Yeah, and then
your
mom's
mom
half
is-
British
gotcha.
and half Mexican.
Tight.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, it's pretty weird. And then my dad was adopted by Russian Jews.
What up?
Yeah. So, and then all my friends are Russian. It's crazy. So, but I've never been to Japan. I
Dude.
really want to go.
The food, the toilets.
If the toilets and food sold me, because those are things that are very important to me. No, I'm being honest. So
I
and video
just
games.
listed those two things.
And video games. I heard there's like towers of video
Everything,
games.
dude. They do everything way correctly. We're dumb over here. Everything they do just makes sense, and I don't understand why every other place doesn't do it like that.
Where did you go?
Went to Tokyo. Went to Kobe. I went to. Oh my god! I went to like 7 different ports, but
Like backpacking? Like with
no,
just
on a boat and a train, the bullet train.
who'd you go with?
A buddy of mine.
And you guys just went for a month.
We just went
peace
for a
out.
month. Yeah, peace
Wow.
out. Just did it.
I always get weird about leaving because I always feel I have a sensitive stomach and don't want to get sick eating some crazy
Yeah, but
shit.
that's true. But it's not Mexico.
Yeah,
And Mexico's
that's true.
bomb, by the way. I'm not
Yeah.
shitting on that's
Yeah, yeah.
bomb food. But
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's clean. It's the
It's super
cleanest.
clean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the cleanest cuisine.
My friend that went to Thailand a lot. Again, I don't travel that
Thailand's
much.
way different than Japan.
He's like, I just have to eat at Subway because I get sick everywhere else.
Yeah, Thailand is kind of third worldy a little bit.
Yeah, you have to be
But
careful.
Tokyo is like
Super
one ups the
clean.
U.S.
Yeah, they all super clean. It's the art
Yeah.
form of the knives, and
Yeah.
the fucking chef has a knife
Dude,
that was
you're not
given by
gonna
a
say-
grandfather. Yeah, but still, I get super weird, and I don't eat super raw. Like
You don't eat
everyone.
sushi?
I do. I'll eat sashimi, but like a little bit, you know. Like,
Dude, okay, well, you eat steak, right?
sure.
So the best steak I ever had was in
Wagyu, yeah,
dude,
A5, yeah.
Wagyu, but Kobe.
Kobe's
Okay,
better.
check it. So I learned something there. I thought like the best stuff you can get is Wagyu. That's like the top or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly every piece of beef that is from Japan, it's all Wagyu. So if it's beef from Japan, it's all Wagyu. But there's levels of the Wagyu. Yeah, you have the A5, whatever. But the top of the Wagyu is Kobe.
Wow.
That's like the bomb.
That's
But
the
and
best.
so and then I was like, oh, like I've gotten like Kobe out here in the States. They're like, nah, dude. Like we don't like export our good Kobe.
Wow.
Like only maybe a couple places in
Sure.
the US maybe have it. But anytime you see somewhere that says Kobe sliders, you don't know happy
Yeah,
hour.
it's not the real
No,
deal.
or anything pretty much.
Sure.
You're not getting that. But anyway, dude, so good. It was the most amazing meat I've ever had in my life.
Kobe beef.
Dude. Wow.
I mean,
in Kobe. Bomb.
so Wagyu's a
The
breed of
size,
cow.
dude, like the size of like your fist, and like
Mhm.
half your fist is like $250.
I'm sure.
But it's bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too rich for my blood.
I don't know. Sell that jacket, you could probably eat that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to go up in price. I got
Probably eat a lot of Wagyu.
I buy these kinds of things to flip, and then I look at them and there's no flipping.
Yeah.
Like the market came to like a weird place. You know what I mean? And that's, I don't typically wear any of this shit. It's just like
Dude, I
all
saw
flip.
online, someone sold the entire Supreme skateboard.
Over $1 million
$1 million bucks.
to a kid.
It was to a kid?
Hmm It's a kid from Canada, I think.
That's
If
crazy.
I was right. There was that dude that had his installation on Fairfax, and he was like showing people his like archive of Supreme decks, and he had one of every made ever. And then he was trying to sell it for over $1 million or something like that. And I think a kid came and cashed it out.
Wow.
Which is good. He's an art collector. I think he's an art collector. I'm like bare minimum art collector, but I'm starting to do it because I don't have the ability to visualize something and then make it come to life. Whether
You know what? If you see something and you just want to live with it, and then you get
Yeah.
it. You don't have to describe or
Yeah.
say you're something. You're not.
Yeah.
You want to live with something, you get it.
Yeah.
You know?
So I buy art and I care about it. I don't. There's people that I know that buy art and flip it, and I think that's good as an investment. And these are investments. These little, they're not expensive pieces, but I buy them because I actually really like them. I got into Murakami a little bit, understanding him, and it's like, oh, my father was Japanese. He's gone. He's passed, and it's like, oh well, there's a Japanese older dude that makes dope art.
That dude's dope.
Yeah, so it's like, and his sculptures are insane. So it's like I'm buying a piece of my ancestors is how I
cool.
look at it.
Do you know, I never understood why I'd go to people's houses and they'd have nothing on their walls. I'm like, what? How can you live? Like, why would you want to choose to wake up every day to like a blank walls. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's hard, you know, to be. It's really, but also there's beauty in that too. Just one giant room with.
Oh,
nothing.
you know what? That's the Japanese way. Actually, like very minimal.
Yeah, my old apartment you came to, I didn't have art in my wall.
True.
I actually liked a room with just a chair, you know, and just sitting there and then just play video games.
Meditate in there, yeah. You could project whatever you want on there. That's true, I guess, yeah.
I think one of the questions that I've always wanted to ask artists, and it's like the typical interview fucking question, but like, what artist do you look at? You know, what artist, when you do you follow, if you follow anyone else, inspire you?
Living or?
Doesn't matter.
I'm really into, right now, this guy, his name's Daniel Arsham.
Arsham? Okay.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's a New York artist. It's interesting because I use a lot of color in my art, but he only uses white. Like everything he does is white. Really? But it's so dope.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, I like to touch on similar kind of subjects as him too, and like throwbacks but he's doing some really interesting things. And Kaz, I have so much respect for how he's able to, you know, do a lot of stuff with different brands and do huge sculptures and paint. Like he kind of really into the scale of what he's trying to do and say. And then Gerhard Richter, one of the greatest painter that has ever lived. Probably he's German. He's still alive. His abstract pieces are the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So I aspire to be like that.
Mm-hmm. Have you met any of these guys?
I've met Daniel Arsham and I've met Kaz. Haven't met Gerhard Richter from Down before he dies. That guy's the man.
What do you like? Just go meet them at like their art shows and
art shows,
and stuff
yeah.
Like that?
Like what's up, dude? You know, pay my respects.
Yeah. Do you ever trade your art with other artists too? Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I always wondered that. You know, like
it has to be some dope art.
Yeah, but when you get on your level and like your shit's dope and like that dude's dope, you're like, look,
yeah, what's up? Trade. You like that? Well, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, why can't we just trade? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I'm, you know, again, just learning a lot of the artists right now. I think
bartering is a big thing too.
Yeah, it's all about barter.
I mean, you know, your stuff is when you make something and it has value, you know, it gets treated the same way cash does 100%. Or money does. So, you know.
I've been digging Cleon Peterson recently.
He's cool.
I've you know, I came across him through some dudes online, and they had like a chair that these like they said, oh, some artist made this chair, like the Modernicas or Modernicas, however they say that name. And some guy named Cleon Peterson did like a collaboration. I looked into him, and I've actually been feeling his pieces a lot. They're very violent. They're a lot of violent in their pictures.
They're violent, but it's life.
Yeah, and
but they're beautiful. Yeah, if you just like pretty. Look at it at first glance, you just think, oh, whoa, this looks really cool. Yeah. And you look, you're like, oh, whoa, all those guys are holding knives, cutting each other's heads off.
Yeah. It's I've been into him recently, and then I reached out to him online. You know, one of the things that I've learned because trying to interview people that I look up to and aspire to, anyone that I typically try to interview now, I really look into a lot, and I will know about them and care, you know, what they're doing. The thing that I reached out to Cleon, he responded. He was just like, let me see an interview. And I was like, oh shit, I'm a startup. I'll show you a couple down the road. But you know, I just want to interview people that I am inspired by at this point, whether it's comedy, whether it's film, whether it's art, you know. And then, you know, you've been the homie, you know, growing up, you know, I would run into you, and it was like just like low key, I would always brag to my boys, like you know, it's like, oh, I know this fool. Look, check this out. And I always one upped everyone because like everyone would show me their artist home, and he was dope. You know, like it was cool. But I was like, wait till you see my
nice
boy.
Tag, dude.
Yeah, wait till you see my boy. And it was like this fool's like drawing a fucking, you know, massive piece with the, you know, the Constitution of the United States. And I kind of always won the war. Like, all right, dude, cool, bro. You know. And now it's kind of looking into the future of what, you know, you can become in the next years. You know, what is the vision? You know, where you're gonna go? Is it always predetermined? Probably not, huh?
Yeah. For me personally, I would say it's definitely not predetermined. It kind of, you know, it's like life just takes you where it goes. I found a wave. And the wave kind of will just take you where the wave goes. You're not anyone that thinks they can steer a wave. You know, they got something else coming.
Yeah. And then do you have any things coming up local, like galleries?
End of March, I'm gonna be taking over a spot. Yeah, in downtown, and yeah.
You have pieces up there we can all walk through and stuff.
Pieces, performance. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole takeover.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Arts District, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pull up for sure. And
I'll let you know. Hopefully, by the time that this maybe ends up online, that will be confirmed enough where you could throw it on the link or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we're gonna press that out pretty hard too. We have a blog and we're gonna put up local dope people. I kind of like my inspiration is kind of just to be the Huelhauser, of like
down with PBS, KCET.
Yeah, I miss Huelhauser.
He was a fixture.
Yeah, he did I eat an apple pan. You eat an apple pan?
They just sold it?
No way. Apple pan will never sell.
Do you know about that? Last week.
Apple pan will never sell. You're out of your mind,
bro.
Really?
Yeah. Last week. Crazy. I thought, yeah, you didn't know about that? Crazy, right?
Like they're gonna shut it down?
No, but it's the first time they've ever changed owners. They sold it to someone. They're gonna keep it, but they sold it to someone.
It's been a family for like 100 years.
I hope they keep it. I mean,
I heard that it's been family owned for like 80 years. Huelhauser. If you go and type in Huelhauser apple pan, and everybody, this is one of the most iconic burgers in Los Angeles. Period. My favorite.
I hope they don't change it.
Yeah, my favorite. Even the
That's
waiters,
your favorite burger?
Yeah. I mean, what's another burger that you like?
I mean, I'm a burger connoisseur, bro.
I know you are.
No, that's a good burger. Apple pan is good. It's been here for a long time. I mean, damn.
Like 80 years.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good burger.
It's never changed. Even the waiters there were there for
There's
like
this place
years.
in Pasadena I'm digging. Pine Burger.
Never heard of it. It's good.
Bomb. I like Stout a lot. I think
Stout's a solid burger.
I think it's a really good burger.
Yeah, I just don't like that it's too kind of like bougie in a sense.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm like, can I change stuff? And you can't change the burger.
You can't?
No.
They don't let you?
No.
You gotta say nicely.
No. It's like in their
Really?
program. Yeah, like can I add extra? No, we don't do any of that. You take the burger the way we make it.
Do you like Father's Office?
Never been there.
Bomb.
What's do you go to John and Vinny's for Italian food?
Yeah, they don't. They have burgers.
They don't have
there?
burgers. I'm just saying another.
Yeah, but across
spot.
the street, Animal has a bomb burger.
I never been to Animal's Burger, but I heard that they use like different parts of the cows and stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a very
so good. John and Vinny's is solid.
Do you go to Colfax and get the pastrami burritos on
Best
Wednesdays?
breakfast burrito.
Breakfast pastrami burrito on Wednesdays.
I've never got the pastrami to do the bacon, but the pastrami.
Do the pastrami on Wednesdays, and then Slab, the homie Trudy, which Trudy, I'm hitting you up. You better be on here soon.
I've heard about Slab.
It's
barbecue.
Barbecue. He's got pastramis on Mondays. So he does smoked barbecues.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get your pastrami up. I'm just gonna hit you up and pick you up, and I'm gonna take you to eat.
I'm down.
Yeah, I mean I shouldn't be eating this shit, but I'm gonna take you.
You know what? You live once.
I know. I'm addicted to food.
What food are you most addicted to?
Weird shit.
What?
Like just the most fattening, gross shit you ever have.
Cheese blocks.
Yeah. So my girl came in the room last week, and I was eating a cheese block.
Yeah.
She was like, "That's the most disgusting thing."
What kind
ever.
of cheese?
Just sharp cheddar from Ralph's.
Bomb. Tillamook?
Extra sharp? No, just an extra sharp cheddar that they have in
Ralph's
Saran
brand?
Wrap. Yes. And I was eating it like an apple.
Oh my god.
But not like, but I eat piece by piece. No, hold on.
Crazy, bro.
I know. So
Jesus.
she walked in and she.
It's bomb, but damn.
No, I don't take giant bites. It's like
you
little
just said
bites.
like an apple.
It looks like an apple, but I just take little bites, and instead of
Okay, what else?
slicing-
Okay, sharp cheddar. It's bomb. That's
okay,
good.
I get rice. Go to Trader Joe's, or Whole Foods, and you get the 3-minute rice that you put in the microwave.
It's good rice. The jasmine or the brown?
Brown. Mix it with butter, and then pepper Romano, pecorino Romano cheese, and then like melts, and I just eat it like that. But I can eat barrels of it. It's just fattening, gross, clogs your artery shit. And I can eat all the AAA 5-star places too. Like I guess the best food place I've eaten for steak is Chispaca.
Chispaca, yeah.
Chispaca's insane.
I hear it's bomb. Damn.
Yeah, and Roberto's. Or no, Carlitos. The Argentinian place on Melrose. You never been there?
Carlitos.
Yeah, Argentinian. It's insane.
I know about Argentina.
I'm taking you there. They come out with slabs.
You know
of
that
meat.
the provoletta. You know what I'm talking about? You're a cheese man. Melt that provolone cheese in the skillet and put the bread in it. That's
I haven't had that yet.
Bomb.
You went and ate at a place that I kept trying to look up with the cheese wheel, where they put the pasta. How was that?
Dude, that was the best pasta I have ever had in my life.
Really, with the cheese wheel?
Dude, I want to call them out right now too, but I'm blanking on the name.
I remember.
Oh, Forma.
Forma. Okay.
Santa Monica Fire.
So I was watching something on cheese wheels, and like they have to sterilize those wheels every night.
How?
Or like
With a torch?
they put like an alcohol and they light it on fire and they scoop it. Like there's some weird way to sterilize that cheese wheel. You can't, when you see these guys on the Italian guys and they put the cheese in there and they do their things.
I thought the pasta there is better than John Venney's.
Wow, that's pretty shocking.
It's bomb.
That's pretty shocking. Are
Dog
you sure you sure you don't want to change your answer to that?
Bro, they mix their pasta in a fucking Parmesan wheel, dude.
Those wheels are expensive as fuck too. Just so you know.
Think about that.
Yeah, they're a real deal.
They're like cheating.
Yeah. I did a whole thing on Reggiano. Like I looked it up. It's like a city. It's like a city in fucking I always thought Reggiano was just like, what is Reggiano? I think it comes from like it's a city like where they make the cheese. Reggiano or some shit.
Where's the best taco?
Okay, so that's a serious argument here. Again, I am a foodie, but I'm like the crummy foodie. And the best taco in all of Los Angeles, and I don't care what anyone says, is El Chato Taco Truck. It's not Leo's Taco Truck on La Brea.
Which is bomb, too.
It's bomb if you're white.
I'm white.
Okay, so it's bomb. But I'm saying El Chato...
Where is that?
Just up the street. It's on Pico and Olympic. I mean, it's on La Brea and Olympic. On the corner of a tire shop. Comes out on Tuesdays. Tonight, if you're really hungry, I'll take you there. Till Saturday. Comes out at 8 o'clock.
Do they make their own tortillas?
They don't make their own tortillas.
Nah, no.
Okay, I mean, if you want to go...
No.
I know.
No,
Leo's doesn't make his own tortillas.
I never said anything that Leo's is the best. You brought up Leo's. I just said it's bomb.
Okay. What's your bombest taco
Dude,
spot?
in Tijuana, there's this place called Taco Nazo,
Okay.
and that shit kills everything.
I hope it... Again, I thought we were talking about locally.
I just threw out best taco.
Okay, but you did. Best taco I think I've ever had is in Tijuana's myself.
Right?
Yeah, when you walk across the border, it's like when you're walking in and you just passed, it's like a little spot on the side.
Bomb. Okay, fine. L.A. Is that
LA
really? That's your favorite, that spot?
It's number one, and it's number one on Yelp, too. And I don't ever trust Yelp, by the way. I never trust Yelp. I don't believe in Yelp. It's fake news. Fake news. But I'm telling you, it's super fire. El Chato Taco Truck, they're small. To me, it's all about small.
Bite size, like bagel bites.
Little bite. And he'll, and when the cartel looking dude is making the food, the father, they're better. When it's the younger kids, because he's maybe tired, it doesn't come out as like crazy as this guy. And there's a whole line of USC kids outside, and it's kind of annoying. But it's insane food. And you can catch everyone in that line. I've seen, bums like me to, famous dudes sitting there waiting to get this taco. It's insane. The Leo's Taco Truck is kind of like everyone goes there because it's like a song and dance. The guy's cutting it off the thing with pineapple and doing like a fucking flip in the air, with it. But it's not, the flavor profile hasn't developed into the saltiness.
I like when they char the pastor.
They char the pastor at El Chato Taco. They're all crispy.
Bomb.
So it comes off that little Euro spinner. The pastor.
But dude, why aren't they making their own tortillas? That's
it's a process to do that.
But it's cheaper.
100%, but they're in a small taco truck. This is a taco truck. It's a pop-up.
No, I know, but even restaurants in LA, a lot of people don't make their own. It's so annoying.
So who makes bomb tortilla in LA was two places. It used to be El Torito's grill, El Torito Grill.
Really?
Not El Torito, the grill they had in Beverly Hills and that one in OC.
On Wilshire.
Fire ass fresh. I mean, and
El Torito?
Nasty ass El Torito had the firest tortilla fresh, and they would bring it out with a sweet butter and 4 different salsas.
Do you know about the Vallarta? Do you know what that is?
I eat at Vallarta all the time, my friend. Okay.
So come on.
They make bomb ass tortillas there too.
Okay.
Bomb, dude.
Okay.
And you can get the fat, pork, deep fried pork fat, and then you make your own taco there, and they look at you like, damn, this fat guy's eating that. But also Soya Luna in Woodland Hills. You know the Soya Luna place, right? Mm-mm. They have the bombest fresh tortillas. And Paquito Mas.
That's a sleeper. That's a good one.
It's a sleeper too because
people hate on me when I say that. But it's good.
No. Paquito Mas has really solid cuts of beef, cooked properly, and then the tortillas are insane. But LA's full of food and sandwiches. I got a bunch of sandwiches. There's a sandwich place by your house.
Where? Don't say all about the bread, dude.
No. Fuck all about the bread. Get out.
What are you gonna sell where?
It's called Tamarind.
Tamarind Deli. That's bomb.
With the roast beef. I mean, with the brisket and
that's a good one. That's a low key.
That's super low key.
Spot.
James Outlaw. That was from James Outlaw. Took me there. You know James.
I do know James. When I was an intern at Flaunt, I think he was there.
Yeah,
That's
he was
funny.
there. And then Todd Torso.
Todd, yeah.
Todd's big time now.
I was his intern.
Todd's big time now.
Todd's the
That's
man.
Beyonce's art director.
Todd's the man.
And he worked with me on the Frank Ocean project. And then, like, bounced out. Dude is super dope. And then I caught him. Oh, and then he did all of NERD stuff.
I didn't know that. That's tight.
It was hella random. I was I would hit up Todd, and Todd, thanks for never picking up my phone call, bro. It's cool, though, dude. I'm a gamer. I'll smash you in any fucking game. Anyways, I saw him at the NERD concert backstage because I, like, begged Shay to let me go so I could look cool with my boy. And then Todd was back there. And I was like, holy shit. And he was like, oh, my God. I just tried to call him. He doesn't answer. He's like, what's up, dude? I see him, gives me a hug. And then I saw his art installation he did for NERD. Sick. Dude's a beast. Like,
He's a talented man.
yeah, dude's a monster. It's crazy to see all you guys that just put out dope art like it's water.
Are you still doing any drugs these days?
No.
No? Just herb?
I don't even smoke weed.
I don't smoke weed either anymore.
No.
CBD. I'm into CBD. Calms me down.
The drugs thing I never was like deep into addiction wise. It was something that I would just do all the time with everyone, but it never affects me the way it affects everybody. Uppers don't make me up. They make me down. If you do blow or you do something like that, it just doesn't make me feel good. And then weed became very psychedelic for me. I started hearing voices and shit when I would smoke by myself. I smoked weed to be more creative. So when I play guitar and jam, and I would hear my name coming out of the amp like whispered, Perry, and I'd get all spooked out.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Don't do that anymore.
Yeah. So that's why I stopped smoking. But I'll dose small amounts of weed now, because it calms me down. And now I'm getting like pains, old men pains. So I'll low dose hits of weed. I love weed. I respect weed to a fucking core, and I love CBD. I was part of growing CBD a long time ago, and part of that whole scene. And I've treated hella people that were sick with cannabis, so I understand it. But there's an argument. There's an argument to say that even if you have weird personality issues, ADD, stuff like that, weed can trigger shit too.
100%.
It's. I mean, I've gotten high, dude, like real high on weed, and I've heard some. I've seen shit and stuff from weed, psychedelic. And I think one of the other issues with there's a lot of chemicals that even 5 years ago, there's hella chemicals in it. These growers are growing indoor, and they're using whatever they can to keep that plant alive and push that plant to do crazy shit. So there's like chemicals in that. So that going into your system when you're smoking it or even vaping it concentrated, weird shit's gonna happen. So, who knows? And obviously these genetics are crazy. But I'm glad to see you. I haven't seen you. Well, when's the last time I saw you? I think I saw you like a month ago, or you said you were leaving maybe a month and a half ago. I came over to the studio.
Yeah. And then before then, I think I saw you at a bomb sushi spot.
Oh yeah, your mom. She's very beautiful too. Yeah.
Thank
you guys look so happy.
Wait, where?
I saw you. It was a Roja. Super fire too.
It's very good.
I like
albacore crispy onion.
Insane. Yeah, and then the hamachi with the halibut. That's.
You told me about that. I never got that there.
That was insane too. Aroha's dope, and they are all Japanese. One thing that I try to do is when I see a Japanese person, I say, "Hey, I'm Japanese." So like maybe they give me a cool hug or
they're like,
up.
Nah.
They never hook me up with anything. And same with Latinos. Like when I go to park and I try to get parking, and it's like the guy comes down, he's like, "It's $20." I'm like, "Come on, bro, I'm Latinos, dog. We gotta build a wall, fool," And then they, no, it's 20. I'm like, no, like, come on, all I got is 10, bro. All I got is 10. No, that's it. Then you can park, So I never get hooked up. It's crazy, but like, everyone else gets hooked up. So, but that's LA for you. Well, I'm glad to see that you're still pushing hella art, and that's basically your whole life and dedicated to, your form of expression.
It's been one weird, wild ride so far. So
yeah, but I'm happy to see you do that.
Always good seeing you, Barry.
Yeah, it's good seeing you too, and we should have you here more often on your next piece. Thanks for supporting too. I truly appreciate it.
Anytime, dude. You're doing cool things.